Alright, our first Rogue Robot review of 2022, and this episode's focus is going to be on the tall, curve-headed robot. Now this robot is an interesting case as he has a lot of shots, and his model is pretty frequently seen throughout the film, but we barely have any info on him. Regardless, I will still showcase as much as possible of this guy. The tall, curve-headed robot doesn't have a name to my knowledge, but the name I've given him does illustrate his design well. He's painted light gray with dark blue stripes on his side, and he's one of the taller, more vertical robots that are bound to hovering at ground level. His lower body is actually the same base as that of Van Gogh and two other robots, even sharing the same lettering on all of them. I'm not sure why the lettering is the same, but my headcanon is simply that when By and Large made the bases, they accidentally added the Van Gogh text onto all of these models. They simply rolled with it and added the other parts for each individual robot afterwards. But anyways, he's got the pair of handrails and what look to be liquid tanks on his sides, as well as a long, faded blue sloped backpack with a black vent/panel on it, accompanied with tons of cords connecting it to the lower body. His red cord is connected from his side to his head, and finally we get to the head itself. It's fully gray, sloped, exceedingly tall, and it has the ability to lift up from the body with a large gap in the middle, which I always viewed like an open mouth, all while his pair of blue eyes sit at the bottom of his head. And with that, we can finally get to his appearances. Like the rest, we first see him in the repair ward, where he's on the left side of the room in the second section down from the entrance. Here, he's moving around, banging his pen walls. He can be seen next, very briefly, in the quick panning shot of Wally being carried away. At long last, we get a good look at him in the shot of Wally observing his surroundings, where he's seen standing alongside the small red robot, FMAD, and the small purple robot, still banging up against the walls of his pen. After a while, we get to see him again when Wally escapes. Here you can see him turn and tilt over to look at Wally, but noticeably he's moved places from where he was before. Of course, we get to see him next when Wally fires Eve's gun, where he's seen bobbing back and forth, clearly excited about what's happening. Not only that, but he's now back in his original spot too. After that, he's seen watching all the pens go down, which is then followed up by a continuity error. In a shot of the robots escaping their pens, he is somehow now on the opposite side of the room from where he's been the whole time. The same thing happens to the small purple robot as well. I don't know how or why this occurred, but continuity errors can be pretty common with these guys anyway. Regardless, he's seen here turning and scooting off the platform with all of his friends. Next, you can actually see his base and the top of his head in the shot of the robots grabbing hold of Wally. And after that, we get a very close look at his lower body as he zooms out of the repair ward doors on the left side of the screen. Following that, he can be seen charging around the hall corner, swerving left and right alongside the walls. It wasn't until very recently that I found out about this, but there's an animation glitch here where Brella's arms clip through this guy's body. Preceding this is the shot of Eve finding the group, where he can be seen stationary on the left side of the group again, behind the blue grabber robot, the upside down 544, and Serve. Now there's something kind of funny about him in the next couple shots. When his picture gets taken and when Eve is yelling at Wally, his eyes are noticeably lopsided. I don't know if this was an animation mistake or a goofy quirk given to him for the scene, but I personally find it hilarious. After this, he's seen hiding behind his friends and then running away with them, bobbing his head up and down and taking a hard turn to the right. And after that, like the rest, gone without a trace, never seen in person again. And that concludes his scenes. But we aren't done yet. He was in that one pre-rendered shot in a behind-the-scenes video, where he had a temporary standout orange color and could be seen doing more of what he did in the film, swerving left and right. Nothing particularly noteworthy here, but seeing anything more of any of these guys is always a big win. Sadly, I couldn't find any more of him in any deleted scenes or even in the Build-A-Bot game. Poor guy doesn't even have a Pixar wiki page of his own. Despite not doing much, this guy always stood out thanks to his unique design and decent portion of appearances. I'm glad to have finally covered him at long last, and I hope that you learned something new from this experience. Thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.